The American public abhors messy problems. They like things to be really clear, they like their issues in black and white, and if there's one thing they hate even more than messy problems, it's complex solutions. So the current state of affairs in public education is seriously vexing. If you haven't noticed the gathering storm, boy, are you not paying attention. I don't know if you're under a rock, but you might actually find that you're at the eye of the storm and it's building. When I went to the polls 2 years ago, this was not the change I was hoping for. Who would have believed that under our current administration, standardized testing would not just persist, but actually have raised its standards, its presence, and if anything, talk about the unlikely heroes that are emerging from this mess, including, yes, the man who asked, "Is our children learning?" You all know about his principal program. We're going to recruit non-educators. That's what's going to fix the system. If the heroes are surprising, the villains are shocking. Never before in our current lifetime has there been a time where it has been so popular and even fashionable to vilify teachers. And if there's one thing everybody's looking for, it's silver bullets. There are no panaceas. People who tell you otherwise are selling snake oil. That's where I get to take a breath. So what's being very often offered is curriculum-proof teachers, no teacher-proof curricula. Too bad that when you buy Singapore mathematics, you don't get the culture, the kids, and everything that comes with it as an all-inclusive price. Afraid or suspicious of what my teachers might say or do, give them a script, make sure they don't get to think. Scripts only work if kids also have a script. I'm guessing yours don't. I certainly know mine don't come in knowing their lines, their cues, and exactly what they're supposed to say and do, including stage directions. So here's the real solution. You might notice a few people up there that you recognize. It's teachers. It's teachers who have knowledge of students, knowledge of content, and can mediate between them, regardless of the textbook, the mandate, the test. And it doesn't look like this. We can't return to what people thought were the good old days, because back then only some students were allowed to learn mathematics worth knowing. It looks like this. It means rich and challenging mathematics made approachable, interactive, and engaging for all kids, so that they see math not as, at its core, an answer-getting, but a sense-making and reasoning endeavor. I'm not saying throw out your textbook and start from scratch. We as teachers have neither the expertise, the responsibility, nor the right to do curriculum whole cloth. There's a compelling amount of research saying we don't do it coherently, we're doing more harm than good. What do we need to do instead? We need to learn to look critically at our own practice. Best practice doesn't mean what I like to do best. It means what works. And if it's not working, it's got to go. We need to actually ask kids what they know. And then we need to shut up and listen. We need to build communities of practice. I'm speaking to the choir here. We're all in this room. We believe in this stuff. But we've got to do it at home, whether or not it's supported, believed in, or part of the culture, because we're part of the culture. We've got to stop vilifying accountability. It's here to stay. We've got to make assessments work for us as opposed to us working against them. But we've got to use them wiser and with greater intentionality. We've got to actually embrace research. There are people out there doing work on our behalf. We've got to pay attention to what they're telling us, because they're finding out things that we need to know in order to get kids where we want them to be. And we're doing ourselves and our students a huge disservice to ignore it. Most importantly, we can't wait. There are kids in our classrooms right now. They're counting on us to deliver on the promise of more and better mathematics for all students. So this is the real teacher accountability. We can't wait to be revered, rewarded. We are the only real solution. And there are kids out there waiting on us.